What's going on? Hey, how you doing? Welcome back to a late night evening once again with your host Kite. Been a good day. I was out DoorDash with my sister. Since it's a Saturday, got a little treat. Got some sweet frog. Get those probiotics. Sweet frog is the only place that you can eat at where it's like technically it's bad for you, but technically it's good for you. So I don't know how to feel. But still fit within like a 3-hour window. Go ahead and switch over here. But what's going on? Market. So, I mean, we're still kind of just like bouncing around. It is absolutely annoying, as you can tell by the title. Please, for the love of God, Satoshi. But it looks like the small time frame ABC that we marked out the other day that we talked about, little bing bada boom bop bop, is having a little bit of an effect on the market. As it sits right now, like if we're paying attention to the smaller time frames, because obviously nothing's really happening on the larger, it does look like we might want to come back up and retest 27,604 and hopefully form an ABC to mayhaps be looking for some downwards continuation. It looks like Ethereum could be in a similar situation. I mean, if you're trying to like really find an ABC, A to B to C, come back up and perhaps retesting that level here, which I wouldn't say, like, I probably should take that off my chart. It's not necessarily something that's been consistently like retested. It's been kind of blown through. It was important back here, but I don't know if it's so important over here. But we'll leave it there. See if anything happens along it. US 100 coming back down a little bit after it's been lifting off to the upside, which I like to look at the US 100 just to get a baseline for like the US economy, but it's not like of too much importance when it comes to crypto. We are sitting at mayhaps another possible level for an ABC for the SPY. Check out the DXY. DXY broke through resistance, pumped up a little bit, but now we're coming back down to retest. If we can find support off of that, that's when the market's really going to start cruising up, because obviously the market really wants to know whether or not, because I mean, if you look at the DXY, there's no major resistance between here and, well, 102 and 105. So definitely a stretch. So I'm sure it's coming back down, retesting, see if it wants to find support. If it does, that can kind of spell a dangerous zone for crypto. Yeah, besides that, nothing too interesting. Apple stock still lifting off to Apple stock levels. Apple doesn't care what the market's doing. They always got something to sell. They always got a new phone with missing features all the time. So they're still doing well. AMD's seen a little bit of a jump to the upside, but it does have a pretty decently sized ABC if it does start coming back down. I'll be on the lookout for that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, good night. See you guys tomorrow. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. When dump? I don't know. But I'm hoping pretty soon. I'm hoping very soon. But whenever it happens, it happens. But if you guys haven't already, go subscribe to Beyond the Wix YouTube channel. So what I did last night is I uploaded the video to Beyond the Wix and I uploaded it to my channel. That way, obviously there's not a lot of traction on Beyond the Wix yet. So I just want to let you guys know that that video's there. But that video, maybe a couple weeks from now, would only be exclusively found on Beyond the Wix. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe. It takes 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I appreciate it. But no, that was a quick little video that I could get out there. And it although maybe didn't touch a lot of the points, I'm trying to make sure that the videos are around 7 to 10 minutes. I don't want them to be too terribly long. So even though I probably could have talked for hours, about that concept. I feel like I did a at least decent job. And I was reading through the comments, and I love reading all of them. And there was one guy that was like, "You're a sheep, not a wolf." And I already know what that guy's chart looks like. I don't even, he doesn't even have to tell me. But I guess his Sigma male grind set was preventing him from listening to the message I had to speak. It doesn't mean that don't try. It doesn't mean don't make profit. It just means, like, if you're making good profit, why to try to go like out of your way and suffer to make a little bit more? You know, like when the bull market hits, yeah, if you want to put a little bit more extra time and effort into the market, of course, that makes sense because there's like a viable time to do so. But right now, like if you're spending every single second looking at a chart, what are you doing? Nothing's been happening, brother. Nothing's been happening. So, but there's one negative comment and about 30 positive ones. So don't want to give too much attention to that guy. I found it funny. But Johnny's going to have his video uploaded fairly soon to be on the Wix. And I don't know if I'm going to be uploading his video here. I don't know how he wants to do it. Because I pitched to him that for like the first maybe couple uploads, we put every single video on my channel, Beyond the Wix, and his channel. That way, like, it's evenly spread across the board. You know, the whole saying, all roads lead to Rome. Because the plan is eventually I want to be full-time on that channel. This channel is still going to be for me bullshitting around, talking to you guys, but might not be so crypto-oriented. It might just be me. Obviously, crypto comes along with that, but I want to be created like a crypto network with Johnny. I didn't set alerts on. How dare you? So I mean, I switched the Google Ads from my channel to the Beyond the Wix channel, and it's already starting to work a little bit, and it's interesting to see how it works. So I mean, it just started going, so it's not like it's lifted off quite yet, but so far 9K impressions, 250 views, not too bad. A 2.5% conversion rate. If that got to 10,000, that stayed the same. So just trying to help out the channel. Like I said, it's still bare bones. We don't have a logo. We don't have like a like a background or anything yet, but all with due time. We gotta play Wordle tonight as well before we get off. We haven't played it in quite a while. Gotta keep our brain active. Unfortunately, I couldn't listen. I love and hate doing DoorDash for my sister. I love it because I get to just sit in the passenger seat and deliver the food and then like play on my phone. But at the same time, like I like listening to music, but at the same time, music can get boring. So like I like put it on a podcast or an audiobook or something. She hates it. She hates all of that. So I couldn't listen to any of my audiobook today about ultra learning. I forgot what principle I'm on. But I'm almost finished with the book. Probably have to reread it a couple times. Get it to stick. But good book. If you guys want something to read, I always have something that might interest you. And this book of the week is Ultra Learning by Scott Young. Good book. You should keep your videos and your live stream on separate channels. YouTube likes that better, supposedly. Ryan Matta told me the same thing, but I'm not sure. Like, yeah, so I mean, if we were doing what I'm doing right now, which is like uploading a live stream every single day, I think that would be the case, which maybe it gets to that point. I don't know. Right now, we're just kind of planning on maybe doing like one co-hosted stream and then 2 separate streams and then 2 videos a week. Like that, I think would be the ongoing schedule. 1 video from me, 1 video from him, 1 live stream from him, 1 live stream from me, and then we do 1 together. I feel like that'd be a good schedule. Where did there it is. Crypto Jesus. We put Crypto Jesus where we want price action to go. I've been trying to meditate while going to sleep. The problem I'm running into every single night is if you lay on your back and so what I do is I just count my breath. I go 1, 2, 3. Obviously, I'm not breathing that fast or I'll be hyperventilating. But when you get to 10, you restart. And then like, let's say you get to 5 and then like your mind goes on a tangent of just thinking of something random. All right, well, at some point you'll realize that and then you restart. So if you have a thought that interrupts the counting to 10, you have to restart. So, I mean, I can do it and it's getting better and better in terms of the frequency of thoughts popping up or is becoming less and less. But at some point your body sends a signal termed like the rollover signal. And I can never get past it. But apparently if you can get past it, you know, that's when you can probably go into like sleep paralysis. And then from there, the world is your oyster. You can open your eyes and imagine a demon sitting on your chest, or you can roll out of your body, or you can go into a lucid dream. So many options, but I can't, like, it's such a powerful signal. It is ridiculously hard to power through. It's like an itch that you need to scratch. But that's one of my goals, get past the rollover signal. What do you think about the DXY Super W pattern? Yeah, I mean, it's looking like a large double bottom and we have the ABC. We did put in a lower low. So, I mean, definitely looking for probably a retest of somewhere in this middle range. But I mean, if we're just looking at it from like a step-by-step basis, we've broken through this major resistance here, which it wasn't like super defined by any means. You can see like I've circled where it tapped right here. It kind of bounced momentarily off of here. And then there was like 3 moments where price tried to retest over here. So I'm counting that as a possible resistance. So at the moment, the way I look at it is not necessarily from like a super W pattern or even the ABC, but rather just we've broken above a resistance. Price is coming back down to retest. If we can confirm that retest, we're probably going to be on our way to move up to 105 and then repeat that process and move up to 107. So definitely like it's looking like upside price action on the DXY, especially with them kind of constricting the money supply and hiking up interest rates. It's definitely going to give more value to the dollar in the short term. And obviously, I mean, if we look at a very large macro scale, we fishy, come on, hey. Same people every other day, come on. Hey, come here. No. Fishy, come on. Come here. Same people every day. Don't do it. Don't do it. Hey, come here. Stay with me. You're okay. But yeah, what was I saying before the dog absolutely scared the shit out of me? Yeah, with them constricting the money supply, it's definitely going to give a short-term boost. And long-term, like we are sitting in an ABC pattern. So, I mean, maybe we only go up to retest 103.8, which Let's see, 103.8. Did we hit that already? Roughly, yeah. So, I mean, there is a chance that we get rejected, for sure. From like a macro scale here. But this is like a 10-year time frame scale here that we're looking at. Fish? No. Stop that. Come here. Also in a little bit of crisis as well. I can't do any nighttime driving until I order some more contacts. It's actually stupid this time around. I think I'm just going to opt to possibly ruin one of my eyeballs. Because at the moment, the doctor said that I think I have a negative 2.75 in the left eye. And then a negative 3.25 in the right eye. But I think I'm just going to get negative 3s. Because it's going to cost me $200 to order 2 separate packs for each eye. Or 1 separate pack for each eye. There's my little log room that curve. Just to appease anybody that wants that kind of TA. But I mean we have room to the downside when it comes to that. Definitely like there's nothing forcing us to the upside. Anybody that like claims that, I'd take with a very large grain of salt. Or would it be small? Grain of salt nonetheless. Small or large, who knows? Soul is good for a long hedge right now? Possibly, if I remember correctly. Not any more than BTC or Ethereum would be. I mean, obviously they're a little bit above their entry points, but not by like a massive amount. It doesn't look super strong, I'll be honest. But it's there if you did want to take a smaller time frame trade like that. It's definitely there. I think there's probably better options if you look around. I know KDA. KDA has a macro ABC here. Algo, very similarly as well. If it comes back down, you might be able to hit that re-entry point. But besides that, like the market's kind of in flux. There's nothing like super appetizing. We do have those long positions. Like I said, I'm not playing them on leverage. DCAing spot in those positions on a separate portfolio. It's just with Ethereum sitting like it is and the possibility of the DXY continuing to the upside, the long positions don't look good. And although they do, it's not that they don't look legitimate. Bitcoin ABC, Ethereum ABC, they look legitimate, and they are. I'm not saying ignore it completely. But my feeling is that they might just be continuations. And although we might see upside, it's not going to be like massive continuation, you know, and looking for crazy numbers like this. Now, that's my gut feeling. But if we surpass 32,500, that's when anybody that says 48K, I can now go, yeah, like there's a legitimate chance for 48K. But until that point, there's just too much telling me that downside is still the priority for the market. Hey, Kite, is BTC will move to more lower low, lower than 15K? I don't believe so. There's a chance. I mean, if we're still going to continue like making massive ABCs, I mean, obviously we put in massive ABC top for the bull market. There's a chance that we could possibly see a lower low than 15K, 15.4K. But I mean, the logarithmic curve, although I'm not putting much merit on, wouldn't technically allow for much lower of a low. I mean, if we're looking at it from a horizontal point of view, if we did break 15K, technically 16.2K, then the next level would be 9.8K. So I honestly don't think we will see 9.8K. If we break 15.4K, there's a chance. But until then, we have two major support levels underneath us, 16.3K and 19.5K. So my bet would be is that we probably form our A off of 19K, probably have a B retesting to the upside, possibly come back up to the 25K region, and then more than likely the market coming back down. Maybe you won't see 15K, but maybe we'll have a retest of 17.5. And then once we get back above 19.5K, that's probably when I will be on the bullish side. Not necessarily in terms of like we're in the bull market, like we're going to start blasting off, but that possibly could be the low. And then from that point on, I'll just be tossing money at the market, DCAing like constantly, and cutting back everywhere. I've already kind of been preparing myself for stuff like that. So if you don't have a sous vide by now, all right, they're cheap. They're so cheap. All right. 2 years ago, we would have to spend like $200 to get a sous vide. Now they are $80. And then it's like maybe an extra $50 to get a container and the vacuum sealer. Like you could make some fire protein meals with a sous vide, like crazy easy. Save you so much money. So, if we get that pattern, just start looking for anything to cut back on your life. Get a water bottle, stop buying drinks, just start throwing money at the market. Because at that point, I would be comfortable to say like, that's the low. And then as we approach closer and closer to the halving, I'm sure we'll see that reflected in the market itself. As for like the next high, I'm really honestly not expecting like any crazy bull market. I'm probably expecting like 110K. I think every single bull market from here on out is going to be significant in some way or another, but it's not going to be explosive growth like we've seen in the past. It just doesn't make logical sense for it to work like that. Now, if we see economies fail around the world and they switch to Bitcoin, which would involve all-out wars because, I mean, what we do to other countries when they refuse to use the dollar standard is ridiculous. So we probably would see some conflict, but that could potentially cause massive growth in the Bitcoin market. But besides that, no. If everything keeps on the same path, it's going to be gentle growth from here on out. But you can still make use of the fluctuations and add to your portfolio quite significantly. I need to refill my water bottle. When my water bottle's low, it sounds like a train trying to stop. I'm waiting for the SUI to go lower. If Bitcoin retraces, huge potential maybe for Solana next. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like, there's not many altcoins that I'm going to take a significant bet on. Kadena is an exception because of the profitability for miners. Like, that's the main driver. If you can find another coin that's very similar, I think it also has good potential. I mean, just because I'm applying those characteristics to Kadena doesn't mean that there's not other coins. I've definitely seen a script algorithm doing quite well, so I don't know if that's all Litecoin. So Kadena, I'm pretty confident that we could probably see at least $50, which to me is insane. If we see anything more than that, it's by the grace of God. Give me oxygen. And the estimate that I'm getting for that is you take the current circulating supply of Kadena and you give it the average. So last bull market, anything that got any sort of relative buzz around it typically hit around a $50 billion market cap. Now, Kadena's circulating supply is not going to be the same that it is now when we're in the bull market, so it could definitely be less. But you take that same $50 billion market cap, you divide it by the circulating supply, and that would be your potential value of the coin. Let's go ahead and recheck that real quick because it's been quite a while. Because Kadena doesn't have a halving like Bitcoin does. It is a perpetual trickle of deflationary value, which is a good thing and a bad thing. If, you know, we've gotten used to Bitcoin cycles and they're still going to play a big role, but Kadena's is ever ongoing. All right, so we take that number and go into a little calculator. Thank you for deleting what I just typed. $50 billion. Divide by. Can I paste? All right, and you come out with a coin value of 215. So this is the thing. All right, in order to make a good judgment whether or not something is a good investment, take the best case scenario, and then as if that case scenario is even good at 25%, so $50, which is, you know, roughly 25% of this $215 value, then it's a good investment. But if your coin takes absurd amounts of money, Dogecoin, to get to any significant amount, then you're in trouble with your investment. So if we can even hit, you know, $50, that's a 50x. A 50x. You put in $1,000 over the course of the next year, saving money, buying a sous vide. Got 50 grand, dude. If we hit 215, oh, then I don't know what to tell you. All right. At that point, you're good. Withdraw, pay your taxes, shove 50% of it into a Roth IRA, and then the rest of it turn into a nice spot portfolio for BTC and Ethereum. And then we do it all again the next time. I'm curious why you like Kadena. Well, a couple of reasons. So one, during the bull market, the market actually had structure to it. A lot of different altcoins, there's no rhyme or reason to what's happening in the market. And you can see that reflected in the chart, purely based off of hype. Kadena was actually being traded and supported and held back at resistances and supports. So larger players are playing the market in a more traditional way. So they're taking that market a little bit more serious than they would take something else. As well as that, you take the mining profitability of it. Kadena, throughout the entire bear market, has been one of the most profitable coins, if not the most profitable coin. Now, with the introduction of BRC20 tokens, well, not tokens, but the whole thing with Bitcoin being able to be used as like an NFT of some sort, that definitely has increased the value of like SHA-256. But Kadena is still being at the top of this list and, you know, competing with like players that have been in the game for forever and maintaining that sort of value. It's a good introductory point for a lot of miners. So miners, obviously, they're going to keep their eyes on it. They're going to keep interest in it. They're going to keep the market flowing. When there isn't a lot of people mining a certain coin, there's not a lot of dumping that's going in on the market. And it might sound like a bad thing that miners are selling into the market and forcing the value down, but it gives room for the traders to have speculation and for the market to flow appropriately. So then you have the trickle down effect. It starts with miners. The miners keep attention on the market. They provide value in terms of the circulating supply fluctuating. Once the halving hits, now obviously with Kadena, there's no halving, but obviously I would assume that most of them are going to pay attention to the Bitcoin's halving because that brings a lot of money into the market because Bitcoin's the top dog. So then they start holding on, maybe to 25 or 50% of the tokens that they're mining and then selling the rest for overhead. So that creates a supply shock. And then obviously with Bitcoin bringing more money in, through that supply shock, Kadena starts going up, it starts drawing attention. And then you have traders getting involved with it even more, trying to capitalize on the gains. Market starts flowing. And where there's movement, traders like to be. All right, no one likes to sit in a stagnant market or a market that just goes up. All right, because at that point, there's no room to like really make the shorts and longs that can really amplify a portfolio. So that whole thing is the reason why I like Kadena. Now, like, and that didn't involve me talking about Kadena's like web technology where it can intersect multiple nodes and basically transfer stuff at the speed of light and for very cheap, you know. I don't need to talk about any of that. I'm just talking about the true logical facts. Miners are making money, moving the market. The market itself looks good from a structural perspective. That's all I really care about. And then you apply a very simple statistic from the last bull market of pretty much everything always hitting like $50 billion if it was at least worth, you know, looking at. And you come up with a $215 Kadena. Now, Kadena came around at the very end of the bull market, so it didn't have time to do any of that. But the simple fact that it's still profitable even now is just insane to me. So, and obviously once the price goes up, it will become even more profitable. And then you have more power on the network. So that's why I like Kadena. I don't have to talk about any of the marketing jargon associated with it. I don't have to talk about the NFTs. It's just the simple facts of profitability versus time and scarcity. Not a lot of coins have that advantage, to be honest with you. Dogecoin, highly inflationary. It's more to be used as a currency rather than an investment. So anybody that's holding on to Dogecoin and saying it's going to go up to $1, to be honest with you, I don't think you're thinking in the right headspace. Yeah, I've been DCing in a KDA around the $1 to 70 cent mark quite heavily. Because like I said, I mean, it's the type of investment where even if it hits 25% of what you would assume would be a logical good range, it still makes you tons of money. So, I mean, you put in $500 to $1,000, forget about it. If it doesn't work out, so what? You're probably making that money back trading Bitcoin or whatever. But if it does, it has a huge potential to boost your portfolio and put you light years at everybody else. It's the simple investments like that. Also, during the video, I equated Warren Buffett to a trader. And then someone said, Warren Buffett isn't a trader, he's an investor. Well, I mean, yes, but an investment is just a trade on a larger time scale. You're still buying shares of a company and then hoping that company does well. Just like how we trade Bitcoin. We buy Bitcoin and we hope it does well. So that's why I use the Warren Buffett analogy in that sense. I know he's not a trader, but he's not looking for get rich quick schemes, aka 1 minute chart. So hopefully that analogy translated for most people. What about ordinals? I'm not too familiar with that terminology. Is that the new Bitcoin NFT thing? Stop. ETH update. ETH is sitting in the same position as Bitcoin. It has a nice ABC on, you know, like a medium time frame, which could signal that we're going to have a potential retest to the upside. It could be just a 50% retest of the ABC itself, or it could be spelling possible continuations in a retest of 21,141. But with the massive ABC at the current moment and not a reflecting pattern on Bitcoin, although this is technically an Adam and an Eve, we didn't see a continuation after the breakout. So it spells kind of danger for the market. and the market probably will want to come back down. If BTC also had an Adam and Eve and it broke its resistance and we were staying above it, I would say something's fishy and we probably have a pretty decent retest to the upside. But at the moment, that's just not the case. Or turtle swing traders. And that's the way to do it. Like, I knew that video was going to rub maybe some people the wrong way in terms of like basically saying like what they're doing is wrong. And I don't think there's any wrong way to play the market. I just think you can be profitable, insanely more so than the next guy who's playing on the smaller time frames. It's just a matter of time and patience and playing the good trades. So I hope it got through to some people. I know like everybody here has a similar mindset, maybe not as extreme as me. Maybe you guys still like to take smaller time frame trades. I don't blame you. All right. Definitely during the bull market when things are moving and volatility is high, you bet your bottom dollar. Like we'll be looking for that. But at the moment, there's nothing really that like seems like I really want to go after. ADA still sitting quite bearish. There's nothing like really telling me that the market's going to turn around there. XRP doesn't really have a bullish pattern. Link's been a hot mess. Like you think that we've had a hard time trading Bitcoin? Link. All right, anybody that's been trying to like heavily trade Link. Yeah, good luck with that. That's a mess. That's a stable coin at this point. I mean, BTC, we haven't had a good short position in quite a while, but we had a very, very good long position up to these levels. And we almost had a good short position until the market absolutely skyrocketed. Let's go ahead and try some Wordle. See if we've lost our magic touch here. I'll probably log off for the night. It's quite late. It's 10:30 where I'm at. All right. Audio. Snake. Okay. All right, I'm going to try to get some letters. Okay, so we got 4 out of the 5 letters. So, I mean, we should be able to find out what the word is. So we got possibly K-A. We don't have a U because I would do like claws. I don't think K would be the first letter. Can't be clasp because there's no P. Yeah, I don't think. Let's try. So blank LASK. Flask. Still got it. Charles, I know you're a little bit behind. But you got it as well. I did that by myself. Put the team on my back. Watched a good movie last night called White Man Can't Jump. Or White Men Can't Jump. Wholesome movie. I probably wouldn't have watched it if it wasn't for the fact that Jack Harlow played a huge role in this week's episode of Dave. I always say like you're a genius if you do that. It's just process of elimination. Now, if like you could get it in 2 tries off of like 1 letter being correct, oh, then yeah, you got some special magic to you. All right, guys, I'm gonna log off for tonight. Hopefully, I won't be on too late tomorrow. I know today was a little bit later time frame than what we've been used to. What's your thoughts on prop firms? It's a good video. Good video idea. But my general thought on prop firms is put it logistically. Okay. Let's say that prop firms are 100% honest, that they are putting actual liquidity on the market and they are making the trades that you set up, which probably most of them aren't. So in that case, it basically becomes like a casino model. You have 100,000 people that all pay $80 in order to pass 2 out of 3 tests in order to become a funded trader. Let's say 99,000 of those people, all right, out of that 100,000 fail. Now the prop firm has all of this money from all the people that failed. The people that did win, if they are making good trades, which even if you are a successful trader, it doesn't mean that you're making millions of dollars. You might just be profitable, which, just like we covered, that's good enough. Like, as long as you're profitable and you're compounding your portfolio quite nicely comparative to a guy that's just hodling, you're doing good. Like, you're doing very good. No reason to interrupt that process. But the people that are making trades that are winning, they get paid out with the people that lost the tests money. Like, that's the fear and most likely the reality of most prop firms. If you go to a very, very well-known prop firm where you probably have a lot stricter requirements in terms of KYC and tax ID and all stuff like that, stuff that legitimizes it, then you're probably getting the real deal. But even with that, you have an imposed boss. Once again, with the whole video that we had yesterday, the whole point of being a trader is to have independence, not only from the trap of having a 9-to-5, but an own self-imposed trap of being a slave to the market. So now you have this boss who's telling you that you can't lose this much and you have to make this much. And they set up rules. Some of them have where you have to make at least 1 trade a day. So they're forcing you to overtrade. So, you might have to take a trade just to take a trade. So let's say that you get funded for $100,000. And whenever you make profit on a trade, you get to keep 20% of the profits. Some might be more, some might be less. So if you're using any sort of good risk management, even though you have a $100,000 portfolio, all right, your trade size might only be roughly like $10,000 with a risk of 1K. All right, so let's say that you make 20% on $10,000. All right, so you just made $2,000. So now you take 20% of $2,000. All right, they pay you $400 for that trade. All right, what you could have done is you could have saved up $10,000 of your own money, and then instead of making 20% of the profit from the total profit of the trade, you would have received 100% of the profit, and it would have been a trade that you wanted to take and on your own terms. $10,000 is a lot of money. All right, it's not something that you can save up in a month unless you got a very lucrative job. But is it impossible? No, it's not. It's not impossible. Reevaluate your budget. Like, I'm sure there's cutbacks somewhere where you can save like an extra $500 a month. All right, that's 2 years. Less than 2 years. If you're saving $500 a month, within 2 years, you're going to have $10K. And that doesn't even account for the fact that during that process, the money that you are saving, if you are being gentle with it, you can make an extra 10% here, 20% there. So it might not take you the entire 2 years to hit that 10K mark. Now you have a legitimate trading portfolio on your own terms where you receive 100% of the profit and you don't have to answer to anybody. All right, if the market's really being brutal and you make some extra losses, so what? Pick yourself back up, continue. All right, if you're doing extremely good and you're hitting constant win rates and you're compounding your portfolio, you're doing swell and you reap all the benefit. Prop firms only serve to make money off of you. Otherwise, why would they exist? They're not here to hand out free money in any way, shape, or form. So they serve to take advantage of that instant gratification of, I want to be a trader today. Here's a bunch of money. You think they're going to give $100,000 out to a whole bunch of people? So if the test is easy to pass, it's most likely, easy to pass in terms of comparison. Still 80%, 90% of people won't pass it just because not everybody is good at trading. Let's say you have the means to pass it, but it was kind of easy. Then you're probably not dealing with a legitimate prop firm. My advice is work for yourself. Be patient. Don't get lost in the instant gratification. It's the same, using a prop firm is the same thing as going in and trying to over leverage your portfolio because you want to make money faster. It's just trying to get to the end goal, but then once you reach that goal, that's not the end goal, and you're going to want more and more and more and more and more. So be patient, grow your portfolio, save money where you can, invest it, make smart decisions, take some chances. Because like I said, if you throw $500 out of that $10,000 that you save at KDA during the bear market, and it does hit, it could make up so much. And that's just one. And the rest you can compound gently with BTC, Ethereum, or Litecoin, or whatever. You don't have to, hit the gas and try to zoom to some imaginary end goal of being a full-time day trader. Just doesn't make sense. And you're bound to fall off the tracks if you go too fast. So that's my honest opinion. Probably put it into a video because it's just any company like that. It doesn't serve the people. You have to look at the underlying reasons why they're doing it. They're reaping rewards off of people that have high hopes, banking so much money off of that to the point where they don't. An honest prop firm would be, I am trying to find the best traders in the world. That's an honest prop firm. So that you can trade this fund of money, which is legitimate, and it makes you money and me money. But you're still working for the man. He's still making more money than you. So even if it is legitimate, does it sound like a good idea? That's the whole thing. All right. That's the one rant for today. I'll go ahead and I'll see you guys on the flip. Probably tomorrow sometime around 8 or 9. Hopefully not starting at 10 o'clock. But I appreciate you guys very much. And once again, anyone that's currently watching that is not subscribed to Beyond the Wicks, what are you doing? you're going to be missing out on perhaps one of the greatest YouTube channels of all time in the crypto space. Where nothing but facts are spit. And our spit don't have COVID. It actually tastes pretty good. Well, in this case, it tastes like coffee. But, hey, teach their own. All right, let's go ahead and do the thing and head out. Bye!